Hi, I just thought I just feel I have to do this video because it's like eating away at me. It's about autistic children, about the education system today, about homophobia, about how autistic people make connections, and say an autistic child is in school. There's a lot going on around. They can't learn in the way that it benefits them the most, quiet. Maybe they need to move around. Maybe a child's got ADHD and can't look at the teacher when they're talking. Maybe they need to look out the window and focus on the blue sky and the clouds in order to retain the information. So where are the teachers who have got this training, and where are the headmasters, mistresses, whoever's in charge, by creating spaces, safe spaces where children can actually learn something, and I do think that singular cubicle toilets, probably maybe compost loos in fields, singular. So every child has the right to privacy. There's children with medical ailments who maybe need to change a stoma bag or something like that. Nobody needs to know your gender or your sex. Sex education should not be taught in school. And I don't like the way I've seen on some parent groups, education groups, lots of parents are upset about this, because quite rightly so, it's disgusting and vile and it shouldn't be happening. No sex education in school. And they're saying things like, I don't want my child learning gay sex. It's like, don't put the word gay on the beginning of that. You don't want your child learning sex, full stop. Their brains have not developed properly, and they develop when we're in our 20s. Children need to be children. We don't need this. I didn't need sex education in school. It messed with my brain. I didn't know I was autistic in school. I remember images. I can't remember what was going on in the classroom because it was mostly bullying and noise and children taking the piss out of the teacher. So, it was really embarrassing and I didn't learn anything. So, if I'd known I was autistic, maybe I could have had, one-to-one, and if I needed it, if I was developed enough to create an interest myself to want to learn about it. But I didn't need to know. And children don't need to know, and they certainly don't need to know about consent. Because the trouble with consent, as Kim said from Child Protection Wales, is very, very important, valid point. If a child, for instance, sees graphic images and then they've been desensitized because they don't know what they're looking at, they can't comprehend it just yet, if they get abused and the child doesn't flinch, doesn't show a facial expression because they've frozen, because they're so scared, they don't know what's going on, but they know deep inside it's wrong and they don't want it, they don't like it, and they don't show a facial expression. And a lot of autistic people don't show facial expressions and they mask, and autism in girls is not diagnosed as much because I think I learned to suppress a lot of my traits, like my walk. I suppressed a lot. I was very quiet in primary school, especially. So, well, I've gone off on a tangent, sorry. In a court of law, if that child did not say no or flinch or show a facial expression because, then they'll say that that child consented, and that's wrong, and that's awful. And I don't know if this sex education comes in, and it has been rolled out into 50 odd other countries, and it's been happening in Scotland, which is a guideline for what's happening now in Wales, and it's not come in yet. And most of the parents don't know. They trust the teachers. The teachers don't know because they trust in the people who are writing the policies, and it's not come in yet. And the three documents you have to look at: the WHO, UNESCO, and the legislation, is it the curriculum? They've got the WHO and UNESCO. There's another document as well. You put the three together. There's a video by Child Protection Wales online, Public Child Protection Wales on YouTube, and it's their last video actually. So they explain it really, really well, and So if you're wondering whether you've got time to look into all this stuff and it's too intense, just watch that video and then go and double check it and see for yourself that it's true. It's not misinformation, you know. But I just really, really feel like I need to speak up for autistic children, especially because children cannot consent, basically. And I suffered gender confusion in school, and I swear, if all these gender labels were around when I was in school and it was like bombarded me, you know, where are the lessons on teaching children about all different kinds of disabilities and mental health disabilities so that the bullying gets minimized, you know? And the way the media are portraying gay and trans people, like drag queens in nurseries saying stories, do you know what I mean? There's people out there that believe the media and think that that's how gay and trans people are, when in actual fact, a drag queen is more than likely a straight man and he's an adult entertainer. So why have they got adult entertainers in nursery schools reading stories to children? I think it's wrong. And the reason I think it's wrong is because if a 3 or 4-year-old is looking up to a big, bright, colourful person, you know, because they're very bright and loud and full of makeup, you know, and it's very attractive because of the colours for children, they'll remember that person as a role model. So what happens when they're online and they Google, what was the name of that drag queen, Flow Job in Scotland. Google Flow Job Scotland, and then it'll all come up. So if a child Googles that name because they've just had a story read to them, they're going to see all the explicit adult shows online, and that's not safeguarding children. Do you know what I mean? I'm speaking, I'm not a part of the LGBTQ community, and how many other letters they're going to add to that. I didn't even know there was a gay community. I'm gay, I'm autistic, I'm on my own quite a lot, and I'm just fed up at seeing homophobic comments from skeptical parents on these education groups associating being gay with the sex education. You can be gay and love somebody and not have any sex. It doesn't, the way they say it is, I don't want my child learning about gay sex. I'm like, what? That's quite a homophobic thing to say, because you're just basically saying that every gay person is sexual and they don't even, how many have they met? Do you know what I mean? And how much do they know about their sex lives? Because it's basically none of anyone's business, and sex shouldn't be anyone's business. And it's between two consenting adults, and I just think this world has got way out of hand. And I just had to make this video just because I feel so passionate about it. I'm thinking to myself, if these gender labels were out in school when I was young, and if they're taking away the parents' rights, they're causing a divide so that the children will confide in maybe the teachers more than they'd confide in their own parents. There's children coming home from school at the age of 7 years old saying, I'm bisexual. My friend said that her friend's little girl came home from school crying because she's not bisexual. What the hell? What, do you know what I mean? This has got way out of hand. Children don't need to be more confused. Life is confusing enough. This world is confusing enough as it is. And I need a break from all this. So this is my video to explain why I've been researching what I've been researching and asking you and pleading with you to look into it. There's so much evidence there, and there's so many videos to guide you, because you can write a letter. There's template letters you can get off Child Protection Wales website, and you can send it to your teacher, your headmaster, school governors, and demand the letter to be responded to. So it doesn't take much to copy and paste into your email and send it off and wait for a response, you know, and a no response is still a response. It's evidence that parents didn't have a consultation period, you know. And even if parents can take their children out of the sex education lesson, then that's going to cause a little bit of a divide in schools between the children, because they're going to find out off their friends, aren't they, what they missed, and then they might get bullied because they've been left in the dark with something that they should know, because it's trendy to know about all these gender labels now. So I just felt I really had to say what's been going on in my mind. And since looking into the gender labels, I've realised I'm gender fluid. There's a word for it apparently, but you know what? I believe that I'm, they call it in Native American medicine, two-souled, two souls, you know? But I believe I'm multi-souled, and I believe in past lives, and I believe I've been different, many forms, you know. So that's me. I'm a soul fluid. Is that? Can we have that? Can we add that to the list of genders? Soul fluid, and yeah, yeah. Anyway, sorry, my rant is over. I'll probably think of more things to say once I stop the video. But I've said, you know, the important things. So please, please reconsider when you think sex education. You know, I'm not saying no sex education. Children should learn about puberty. They should learn about periods and what happens to their body while they go through puberty. And they need to know that there's good role models out there, you know, and trans people and gay people should be portrayed. You know, they should be empowering people speaking, not drag queens in schools. That's not an empowering person. It's an adult entertainer, you know, and an adult will make a choice whether they want to go to that show when they're older. Oh, sorry, gone off on a tangent again. Right, okay. Can you hear that? Birds are reminding me to come back into my heart. And yeah, okay, that rant is definitely over then. And if I think of anything else, I'll be in touch. Okay, take care, guys.